Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful but cold day here in Georgia. Good morning. Da, da, da. All right. So as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. I'm super excited to be sharing with you this morning. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now, one more thing. Great. All right. And oops, hold on. I know this morning I think I've used this title before for another day of affirmation and journal prompt. The thing is that it is something that encompasses so much. And so our subject for today is I am a magnet, and it is part of our affirmation. And so I would love to be able to share a little bit about becoming the magnet and how we draw things to us. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Great to have you here. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And I will admit I'm on my second cup this morning already. But this morning, I walked the dog. It was 22 degrees, and the only thing that was exposed to the air at all was just right here. I had a scarf up over my face. I probably looked like some kind of ninja. Um, who knows? But it was. I'm sure people were thinking, "Oh my gosh!" And one of the things that I thought was bizarre, or not really bizarre, but as I'm walking with the dog, 50 here. Oh my gosh, Carrie, I bet you're freezing. um, but it was 22 degrees. The wind was blowing, so it felt even colder. And I didn't want to have anything exposed, right? And there was a young girl at the bus stop sitting on the ground, and she had a coat on and a blanket around her. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And she was there when I went out the door. And when I came back after my walk, she was still sitting there waiting on the bus. And then other kids were in the cars with their parents. And I saw one person walking up. So I thought, wow, how long did she sit out there even before I got out there? So I was feeling so concerned. I thought, should I offer her a space to come and get warm? And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. She's probably fine. But she was hunkered down, but it's like, oh my gosh, you don't even, but young people sometimes don't even feel the temperature. They don't feel the cold. Doesn't mean that the exposure doesn't hurt them. It just means they're not feeling it in the same way, right? But I was cold just for her, right? All right, so I am going to share our affirmation today. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning already. Um, and I don't know, I know you're in Miami, Carrie, and I don't know what's going on there. Probably absolutely nothing. But this morning I got a weather alert that Friday and Saturday right now they're predicting snow and ice in my area. And I forgot that it's not going to be a huge accumulation, but I'm in Georgia, so even a little bit makes a difference because we don't have all the plows and all the things, right? And when you put a layer of ice on top of snow, it's not so easy to deal with. So Thursday colder here. Okay. So it is going to be interesting to see how I manage taking the dog out and everything through that, right? All right. So as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. I see I've got some people watching, and I would love to have you participate this morning. No snow. I imagine you're not going to get snow, Carrie. It would be very strange. Of course, it has happened before in the past, I believe, but it's been very, 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 very rare. But I do love seeing the snow when there's not ice involved, right? All right. So for today, our affirmation is 1977. Okay, I knew there had been some snow in Miami at one point because I remember some people talking about how weird that was for that to happen. So our affirmation for today: I am a magnet for joy, peace, and prosperity. Whew. These blessings flow to me effortlessly, filling my life with abundance and happiness. Now, how does that feel? Good morning, Ellen. Yikes, it's cold and I'm having my coffee now and happy to join this morning. Good to have you too. Good to have you too. I was just talking about the weather prediction I just got this morning, or the weather watch I got this morning about the snow and ice this weekend. So it's going to be interesting. And it's the reason you left Philly? I bet. Every time I deal with something like the really cold morning or the ice, the snow and everything, I remember talking to people who were in different areas. I had a friend that was in Canada. She lived in Canada, and I don't know what part, I couldn't even tell you. But when she was out walking her dog in the morning, it was like 15 degrees, 20 degrees below zero. They had lots and lots of snow. And I'm thinking, holy crap, why would you be there? But you get acclimated, and some people love those winter sports and they flourish in that area. But I've always lived in the South, and so I love the fact that we're going to have this and it's going to be gone really quick, I will say. All right, so back to our affirmation. Remember, anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful. It is you claiming it as true for you, right? So I am a magnet for joy. I'm a magnet for peace, and I'm a magnet for prosperity. So what would it feel like if you just right now suddenly started realizing that you are vibrationally bringing joy, peace, and prosperity to you, and that everything that you need for all of that to be happening in your life is on its way? You're just drawing it to you. These blessings flow to me effortlessly. I have to say that word slow because some reason when I say it fast, it doesn't come out right. So effortlessly filling my life with abundance and happiness. I mean, think about it. What do you want to be abundant in your life? Maybe for you, it's something else. Maybe it's not joy, peace, and prosperity. That's what I would want as an abundant thing in my life. And so maybe it has something to do with relationships. Maybe it's an abundance. Well, now that I think of it, an abundance of relationships. Great relationships would be good. An abundance of love, abundance of care. So what's an abundant thing? What is an abundant thing that you want in your life? You want more of it. You want it to just come without you even having to work hard for it. Because the thing is that working hard doesn't always make things happen, right? Sometimes it can slow you down because you're focused on the wrong thing when you're really putting in so much effort to make something come about, right? And sometimes we find that working really hard not only slows us down, but it puts us in a different, takes us on a different trajectory. Because when you can just magnetically draw things to you, it's not like you sit in a chair and you're going, and then suddenly things just drop out of the sky. People knock on the door. Hey, you just won the, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. You just won the Publishers Clearinghouse. You just won the, what is that house thing that I always sign up for? I don't know why. Home and Garden, something, I don't know. But You just won. Here's your gift. Somebody calls you and says, oh, your long lost uncle from that you don't even know you had, like in the movies, has just left you millions and millions of dollars. All you have to do is come and get it. Now, is that possible to happen? Yes. Is that possible? Publishers Clearinghouse. Yes, that's it, Carrie. Is that even a thing anymore? I used to get the stuff in the mail and get the calls and all that, but I don't really get them anymore. But maybe it's because when I moved, they didn't get the note. I don't know. Hold on a second. You mentioned you were all bundled up to take your pup outside, but you said you don't know what people were thinking. It's smart and normal to bundle up, and who cares what people think? True. Yes, Ellen. They know that you bundled up because of the wind chill and the cold weather. That young lady will probably catch cold, unfortunately, but hunkered down is cute description. Thank you, Ellen. She was definitely hunkered down, I'll tell you. Let me get back over to this other window so I can see. So we can bring all this stuff to us. We just got to decide what we want, right? So think about it. What do you want in your life, an abundance of in your life right now? An abundance of, I lost my train of thought, Carrie, so I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't too. Oh, about the Publishers Clearinghouse. Okay, I gotcha. And there's the it's it's not home and garden. It's something it's where you can sign up to win this house that they go in and they redo these houses or build these houses or whatever. I always go and do that thing. But and I will share one of my coaches. I was telling her one day, and I've shared this before, but it bears repeating. I was telling her, as I'm wanting and desiring and intending for prosperity in my life, I said, it's like a lottery, somebody wanting to win the lottery, and they don't go buy a ticket. You have to buy a ticket. And she said, not necessarily. She said, what if you found a ticket? What if somebody gifted you a ticket and it was a winner? Wouldn't that still be viable? I said, yes. And so all of a sudden it just like, you don't even have to buy the ticket. Now, you probably have better chances if you do buy the ticket. Not necessarily either, because the lottery chances, the way they're set up and everything, it's the odds are big that you would win, right? But that's why when I do decide to buy tickets, I don't buy $1,000 worth. I don't buy $100 worth. I maybe buy 2 or 3 tickets, because I figure the way the odds are set up, the difference in your chances of winning between having bought 5 tickets and bought 1,000 tickets, or like 500 tickets, really the odds are still probably about the same. At least that's my interpretation of it, right? But the thing is that become the magnet for whatever it is that you're looking for. But first, you've got, like I talked about it yesterday, you got to know what your values are as you're going through. And I hope you guys watched yesterday's, and I think it was yesterday. And that you have worked on what are your values that you're taking into the world, that your values that help you to magnetically draw the things that align with your values. And I think one of the things I was talking about just a moment ago, when I lost my train of thought, was that sometimes we get caught up in the efforting, because we think that in order, like what we do a lot of times, and we say, okay, I want I want to be right here. And then let me backtrack. What do I need to do to get there? And then if I make this move right here, then in a week, I'll make this move here. And we start just really, really being very strategic. And there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is a lot of times if we would allow and use inspired action, it may take you on a totally different path, but the path of least resistance, the path that actually helps you get there without so much efforting. And that's where sitting in silence for a little bit, doing some meditation, just getting outside of yourself. When I go walking, I've got these mantras and different things that are going through my mind. I used to listen to a YouTube channel. I used to listen to audiobooks, but now I allow my mind to just exercise with me, I guess is a way to put it. And so I love. Okay, so you would like an abundance of financial security. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. So let's focus on financial security. So first off, the thing that would be good for you, Carrie, is to figure out, what does financial security really mean to you? Is there an amount of money that you feel would be financial security for you? And the reason I ask you that is because, a lot of people are saying $1 million, right? The thing is that that's amazing, right? And is it possible? Yes. Does it feel like it's far off and harder to get to? Possibly, right? So the thing that someone taught me one time when I was working on this kind of thing in the beginning was to sit down and figure out, how much money does it take for my life, just as it is? Not reducing anything, not adding anything. How much does it take? And then I take that amount and then I look at it as, that's the base, right? But then we also want to have the financial ability to expand, right? So then we add to that amount. How much money do we want to be investing in our future right now? And so whatever that amount is, and you can figure out that by going and looking, how much does it cost to get involved in this? How much does it cost for this? And what is our goal? Then you add that amount to that. And then you also add a little bit amount for emergencies, you add some amount for play, and you go and you figure all that out. And then if you had that amount of money, would that be enough for you to feel like you are financially secure? Doesn't mean you won't get more, but let's look at where we're going, because sometimes that's not $1 million, right? That may be 150,000. That may be 200,000. I don't know what it is for you, but figure out what that number is, and then say, okay, this is what I want now, and then I'll expand from there. Because one of the things that I've discovered is that people that don't have a lot of money, the only goal they have is to have enough money to pay the bills. And actually, if you're making enough money to pay the bills, you're not in 6 months, you're not going to have enough money, because our bills change, right? So we want to go way beyond that. And so we want to be looking at not only paying our bills, but being able to do these other things like investing, like creating more abundance from something. We want to have more assets and not liabilities, and whatever that means for you. So it's starting to change a little bit about how we are looking at money and what we want coming in. And when you do this evaluation, and you can actually stretch it out a little bit, right? So in the beginning, let's say, for instance, you figured all this up and it was 150,000, or let's just go, it's $200,000 to a year to get to that place. Now that's just a number I've pulled out of the hat. So that's probably not your number, but whatever it is. And then you focus on that, but then you expand that and say, what would happen? How would I feel if it was double that? Remember yesterday, I talked about how I'm playing with these lottery tickets, right? And when I say I'm playing with these lottery tickets, it's that they're in my purse. I haven't checked the numbers. I haven't done anything. Because when I started looking at it, it's because like I'm affiliate for several different things that are happening in the Facebook world and other places, right? And so I look at my total for the month so far, and I have a number that's showing up in my queue as far as the money that's coming in from my affiliate stuff. But I can't access it right now. It has to go through their channels and do all these things with the PayPal business and the Stripe business, right? But it's there. So it is money that I know I have. It's just not physically in my hand or in my bank account. I can see it there when I look, though, right? So it's the same thing with this lottery ticket. I can see those numbers. I can see that there's an amazing opportunity that I could have won a lot of money. But right now it's feeling just so delicious. To play with it. So I do these experiences the same way when I look at my PayPal and my Stripe and I see that there's money there and it's going to be released and everything. And I kind of think, oh, that's really good, right? But then playing with the lottery ticket with I'm feeling and not the anticipation, but the excitement as I look at, like I can go onto the lottery site, right? And I can put in the type of lottery ticket it is and what the date is, and it'll show me the numbers, right? And so when I look in my imagination, when I look at the first number, it's there. The second number, it's there. The third number, it's there. And the excitement starts building, right? And I get to the fourth number, and that's there. And that's when the excitement really starts getting tingly, right? And I don't know if there's 5 or 6 numbers. I don't know. But anyway, I just feel the excitement of each one of those numbers showing up. And like I said, I haven't checked the lottery tickets because I'm having so much fun playing with this vibration, this feeling. And I know that this feeling magnetically brings more to me to feel that excitement about. Does that make sense? And like I said yesterday, if you want to play along, go buy a lottery ticket, but don't check it. Just play with it. Imagine all the stuff, right? Yeah, yeah. And so you get to choose how you look at all of this, right? We talked a lot about choice yesterday. And the thing too is when we're looking at the financial abundance piece, we need to be aware of how we're feeling about things, because a lot of times when we're saying, and I'm not saying this is, oh, wait a minute, let me see what this says here. Decide what we want. Hold on, let me expand that. Wellness and prosperity, is that too general? Yes, we need to get specific. Recently, I said positive things to people at work, and ears and minds perked up, and one girl said, I gave her a God moment. Ooh, that felt nice. I felt validated and inspiring to my path and not fighting things frustrating me. Mind blown. Oh, expand. I like that word. Money is energy and good health is important to me, and mindset is key. And now I'm expanding and flowing to create my new world and assets while inspiring positivity, creativity, and others. So cool. Yes. Oh, I love that, Alan. I love it. So the thing too is like a lot of times when we're looking at if like financial abundance in particular is that we're looking at this number that somebody has thrown out, that this is abundance. This is what financial abundance is. It's having the plane, it's having the thing, right? And maybe that's not your goal. But the thing is if you can figure out exactly what you need for your life, and then add into it the thing about expansion. So it's being able to have more assets than liabilities. It's being able to invest. And Myron Golden always says he wants his money to have babies. So then he doesn't spend the principal, he only spends the babies. And so there's a way to, if you're looking to be more abundant in your life and as far as prosperity, there's a good thing to do is to maybe start finding out more about money. Read more books about money. I know I've got one, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't read the whole thing, so don't even ask me about that. But Tony Robbins has one about money, and I've got the book right there, and it's a reminder for me to get it out and finish the damn book, right? So finding out how a wealthier person looks at money and how they perceive money flow, because when we're in a place where we're desiring this financial prosperity, this financial abundance, a lot of times it's because we're in the place of we're not there. And so we only know what we know. And so we've got to expand our horizons and look at other people who have money. And it's not that we want to emulate them. It's not like we want to beat them. And maybe what their prosperity is feels like it's a million miles away from us. But we do want to start having the mindset that creates wealth, that creates money. And like there's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, and I've got that one too. So if you haven't read that one is a really, really good one to let you see how just looking at things differently changes the energetic vibration of what you're putting out. So prosperity, abundance, peace, joy, what is it that you want? And then figure out how it flows in your life and why you want that. What do you really want? What does it mean to you? Like if you said you wanted abundance of love. So what does that look like? Is that having a romantic partner? Is it having more friends? What is that? So you have to know what it is that you want instead of just the little catchphrase that you're throwing out, right? Because we've learned these catchphrases, we've learned these phrases from what we've seen, right? And so we want to know what that really means inside, and then we can move forward with it. All right, so let me grab the journal prompt. All right, so the journal prompt is, what does it feel like to be a magnet for joy, peace, and prosperity? And like I said, with this lottery ticket that I'm playing with, I'm really diving into the feeling of winning that ticket. And, you know, that may not be the ticket winner, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm playing with it and I'm allowing that energy, that vibration, that feeling, the essence of it to be inside me. And then in turn, that is going to create more of those feelings in my life, right? So what does it feel like to be a magnet for joy, peace, and prosperity? Really dive into it. What does it feel like, right? And write down 3 ways you can welcome these blessings into your life today. So what are 3 ways that you can do that today? So to me, one of them would be to actually to get in some a space of just pretending, just feeling, and just allowing, like with the lottery ticket, just hold it in your hand, or like mine's in my wallet. I don't even get it out anymore. I just leave it in my wallet and I just imagine it. I have 3 of them in there, right? I bought the 3 at the same time. I don't want to check any of them. I just want to enjoy the process, right? So that's one thing that you could do, right? So what is another thing that you might could do? For one, I just suggested that maybe you start reading, listening to an audiobook, find people on YouTube, whatever you want to do that is people that are talking about finances and how to grow your finances. Maybe it is taking a moment to invest in something, a little small something, right? It doesn't have to be anything big. So do something today to just welcome all this in. So it's not pie in the sky and just dreaming, right? It's actually getting this vibration, this feeling within you, and allowing that to just permeate your life. Remember, our vibration is not just right here. It comes out further, and then it can actually emanate all the way out. Just imagine that you're here and you're doing all of this, and then suddenly things start flowing to you. Work on my Etsy store. Oh, yes, Carrie. Beautiful. Before you start working on the Etsy store, take some time to just pretend and imagine that you go buy a lottery ticket if you don't have one, because you want to physically have the ticket. You don't want to be pretending that you got the ticket. Get the ticket, stick it somewhere, and then before you start working on your Etsy store, just imagine how it's going to feel when all that money is there. Because when you're working on your Etsy store and you've got that vibration going, you're going to have different inspired actions of what to do because you're already vibrating at this level. If you don't do that, you'll still do well. The thing is that it's going to be more efforting. And we want to get out of the major efforting and into the flow. Effortless, right? So let me go back. What time are we at? Okay. Our affirmation: I am a magnet for joy, peace, and prosperity. These blessings flow to me effortlessly, filling my life with abundance and happiness. Put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, the sticky notes. Put it on a mirror with your chalk marker. Put it on a piece of paper and stick it to the fridge. Put it somewhere that today you are constantly reminded that you are the magnet. You get to choose what you magnetically draw. So decide what that is. What is it that you want to be abundant in your life? Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. And then our journal prompt. And remember, I always recommend that you take and you get your notebook or your journal out, you put the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt. And then after you've written all that down, you just release it. And then you sit in total silence for 10, 15 minutes, whatever it feels that's good for you or what you have time for. 15's better, 20's better, 30's better, but whatever time you can allow, and just sit in silence, focusing on your breath. And you could even start feeling some of that vibration of that tingling sensation of that lottery win, right? Just feel it, but just be in the moment and be in silence. And sometimes we have all the chatter that's going on, like I said. I just got a notification of something in my PayPal. Sorry. So the thing is that you want to just really, really dive into it and be silent. And then once your timer goes off, then you just write out, what does it feel like to be a magnet for joy, peace, and prosperity? Write down 3 ways you can welcome these blessings into your life today. And if 3 come very easily, then keep writing. Just write. And what that silence is doing, it's allowing you to get in touch with your inner guidance, with your God voice. And so much more will come to you in that space of writing when you've done that. So, so I have got to, I don't have to, I get to go work with someone in just a moment. Let me see what this says. Yes, finances is not my wheelhouse, so I need knowledge and expertise to diversify my investments and what to do next in my work and my future. Yes, Thank you for the instruction for this because some of this is scary for me and most people. I agree. And most of the time we don't even openly talk about money, right? Because it's kind of this taboo thing. Especially you ask somebody how much money do you make? Oof, heaven forbid. It's like that's private, right? The thing is that when we can let this flow through us and we can be more knowledgeable about things and start discovering, how people that have money, how are they looking at money? How are they feeling about what they're doing? And really, really get to be where it's a natural, normal thing to think of things abundantly, not from scarcity. And I mean, the world is our oyster, right? We can create anything, but we've got to know what we're striving for, and we're striving for abundance. And we can be that magnet for it if we choose. And so there's little steps. You're welcome, Carrie. You're welcome. So today you have a day of self-discovery and learning more about what abundance is for you. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. You have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow.